Hello, my people. I'm back with another video. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all fine. You're having a great day. Well, today I bring to y'all D20 pen and paper football, and this is the season finale. We're in our last week, week number 10, and of course this week right here, the final week is going to be so intense because it's going to be a few teams that are going to be battling it out to try to fit in a qualifying spot for the playoffs. So I don't know if you've seen my post where I put the Texas Football League standings. I put there. We have the Northern and the Southern conferences, and of course, right now we have a big one. Well, it's between the Waterloo Blue Sharks versus the Harm Clark Athletes. Even though the Harm Clark Athletes, they are not playing for anything because they're 3-6, and the Blue Sharks are 7-2. So why is it so important for the Blue Sharks to win this game? Because they're just one game above the Connerwell Road Airhawks. Now, what will happen is that the Airhawks, well, the Connerwell Road Airhawks, the only way they can, because they're right there in second place in the Southern Conference, if I'm not mistaken. In first place, of course, we have the Waterloo Blue Sharks with the best team record overall. And if the Blue Sharks lost this game and the Connerwell Road Airhawks won, will also depend on point differential. So it depends on whoever has the highest points, that they scored the whole season. That's really what's going to count. So if the Airhawks don't have enough to reach the Blue Sharks point differential, then the Blue Sharks will still win. And if they drop to 7-3, the Airhawks are 6-3. So I'm just gonna tell you what kind of games are gonna be really, really interesting. So we have the Waterloo Blue Sharks 7-2 visiting the 3-6 Harm Clark Athletes. Then we have the 5-4 Alameda Eagles visiting the 5-3-1. The last one is a tie. Southwest Stoke Punishers. Then we have the Connerwell Road Airhawks. They're 6-3. They're gonna go up against the West Fuquay Raisin Wings. Things the only team with the worst record in the league, 2-7. Then we have the 4-5 Genoa Wild Ducks visiting also the 4-5 Del Papa Devil Dogs. So the Del Papa Devil Dogs in this game, of course, they have to win, and also see how many points they can come up with. Because if the Wild Ducks, they also have a chance to qualify into the playoffs, but they're gonna also need for some teams to lose in order for them to go in. But let's see. We'll see how it turns out. In the final game, we have the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. They are 5-3-1, and visiting those 3-6 Buffalo Speedway Rams. So yeah, that's how Week 10 is looking. And we're about to go ahead and just put an end to this season already, the regular season, before we start the playoffs, which is going to really be interesting. Now in the playoffs, there's 10 total teams, and 6 will be qualified, and 4 will be eliminated. So for every conference, of course, we're going to have conference champions. Whoever wins in first place, is going to take the conference. So that team will have a bye week, and the other two teams are going to be, I think, wild card teams, and they're going to face each other. The winner out of those two are going to face the conference champions into the conference championship round. So to see who's going to make it to the TFL Bowl. Now, yeah, so that's how it works. That's how the playoffs work. We have 3 teams that are gonna make it out of every conference to make it to the playoffs, and and that's gonna be extremely, extremely fun to watch how it's all gonna turn out. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have pretty much might be the game of the week, but for the Waterloo Blue Sharks. So if they win this one, they will of course clinch. They will win the Southern Conference, And they'll be 8-2, and I think they might have home field advantage throughout the rest of the playoffs, and they will be the only team with the best record to finish 8-2. All right, so we have here the Waterloo Blue Sharks visiting the Harlem Clark Athletes. Here we go. So who do you think is going to win this game? The Waterloo Blue Sharks or the Harlem Clark Athletes? Is super important for the Waterloo Blue Sharks to win this one so they can go ahead and take the Southern Conference title, and for them to, of course, they're going to get the number one seed in the playoffs and have home field advantage. And this team, I don't know if you've seen the post, in the standings, but the Waterloo Blue Sharks, they are undefeated at home, 5-0, and they're 2-2 in the road. So that tells you a lot right there. So if they're undefeated at home, I don't have a problem. I mean, they're not gonna have a problem, for them to advance all the way to the championship bowl game, because I feel like, they're gonna have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're gonna win that conference championship game for them to advance to the TFL Bowl. So that's gonna be super interesting to watch. Here we go. We have the Waterloo Blue Sharks sitting with a +1 on offense, 0 on defense. Their head coach is Noah Underwood. Now I got to tell you, Noah Underwood has really been, if I'm not mistaken, just an impressive head coach, because this guy was able to put together, he was able to build a winning team, and he did it all from the bottom. He started bringing all these pieces, a lot of young talent, and also his coordinating staff, offensive coordinator Clark Boston and defensive coordinator Drake Rodney. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Drake Rodney, even though it's been a lot of teams that have scored a few points against this Waterloo Blue Sharks defense. So I don't know if you could check right there. Even though the Waterloo Blue Sharks, they have scored 266 points, right, in 9 games, but they have also scored over 100. They have scored a bunch against this defense. So Drake Rodney, he's a guy that they're going to want to think first. Now, the GM, Sergio Calvazos, and Noah Underwood, they're going to sit together on the table on the offseason, and they're going to try to figure it out and say and think and make a decision if they want to keep Drake Rodney, their defensive coordinator, because he has not done at all a good job, holding teams of scoring 20 points or more against this defense. But I mean, it's not like they've done it every game, but but yeah, they'll think about consider it and say, okay, we'll give Drake Rodney another shot, see if he can come with us next season, and we can do a season 2 and see if we can get improve our defense. If not, I'm pretty sure they'll get rid of him on the third off season. So here we go, and they on a run heavy offense, dime 4-1-6 defense. They're great quarterback DJ Orton just having a phenomenal year, probably MVP. DJ Orton, halfback Ray Alexander also having a great MVP year. Their fullback Cody Wallace, receivers Marvin Bradley, Jerry Jordan, their tight end Arthur King. Now for the Harlem Clark Athletes, they're good. They're +2 on offense, at 0 on defense, but I still cannot believe they're 3-6. Despite having a +2, that gives them a good advantage. They still are not able. They were still not able to have a winning record, and they're on the. Of course, they're out of the playoff picture. But let's see if this team can improve. Head coach William Yates. William Yates has a lot to really work on the offseason. See if you want to keep all his coordinators with him, John Flowers and Don Terry Booker, on the offensive defensive coordinators. So they have a lot of work to do to rebuild this team in the offseason for season 2. Now they are on a run heavy offense, dime 4-1-6 defense, the same as the Waterloo Blue Sharks. Their quarterback is Jason Whitaker. Jason Whitaker has had a real decent, solid season, but they really had their struggles defensively. So their halfback Michael Harvey, fullback Larry Sawyer, the receivers Joseph Carter, Al Franklin, and their tight end Gerald Mason. So let's go ahead and get this game started. This is the finale week 10. All right, before we start the playoffs, let's see if the Blue Sharks can go ahead and take the Southern Conference title and for them to finish 8-2 with the best record in the league. Let's see. So the Blue Sharks will be the dark green here. The light green will be for the Harm Clark Athletes. Here comes, ladies and gentlemen, the final week. The Waterloo Blue Sharks, the visiting team against the Harm Clark Athletes. They call for heads. And that will be heads. So the Blue Sharks will get the ball first in the first half. Here we go. Here comes the Waterloo Blue Sharks. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 7-0, and that was a +1 and 8, but that's not going to be enough. There was a missed field goal. Let's see. Yep, missed field goal from 28 yards, so it's on the 11-yard line. Their place kicker, Kyle Crosby, has missed a lot of field goals this year. So they're going to try to consider that and be like, okay, should we keep him or not? Here we go. Here comes the Harm Clark Athletes. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? They let it go, and that will be, yep, a +2. That's an offense 20. That's 21 points. Oh, my God. And look at this. They're already shocking the world. 21-0. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, they put up 3 touchdowns. A passing touchdown, run, and a run. So a TD pass and 2 TD runs. Unbelievable. So we're going to put here 2 TD run. That was 2 of them. And then the TD pass. Oh, my God. Look at this. The Harm Clark Athletes, they are already cut. They're going to, shocking a lot of fans from the Waterloo Blue Sharks. And they're like, what in the world are we seeing? The Blue Sharks are down by 21 points, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's see if the Blue Sharks can bounce back and try to tie the quarter before to the second. Here we go. The Blue Sharks, they let it go, and that will be a 20. Yep. Look at this. This is why the Blue Sharks are so special. They always find ways out to come back in the game and tie it and all this. A punt return for a touchdown, a run, and a run. So we have, let's see. We have a punt return for a touchdown, and then we have 2 rushing touchdowns. So both teams have been doing it on the ground. Yeah, that's good right there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it is all tied 21-21. It's going to be a high-scoring game like we've seen. I don't know what week was it, but it was like last month. I think it was a few weeks back. In the beginning of the season, and man, remember that 38-35 final result right there. Man, that was a high-scoring shootout game right there. Here comes the Harm Clark Athletes before halftime. And they give a 20. Oh, my God, another 20. No, that's 21 more points. And right now, they have 42 points in the first half. Unbelievable run, kickoff, return, touchdown, and a pass. So that's already, believe it or not, that's 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Oh my God, look at this. They are just really bringing it on against this Blue Sharks defense. And I got to tell you, Drake Rodney, their defensive coordinator, yeah, he's definitely going to really be on the table. They're going to be in the office, and they're going to sit down and talk to him seriously. They're going to tell him, hey, man, you better not come with that kind of energy. Don't come with that kind of game plan when it comes to the playoffs, when the playoffs start, because, we don't want to lose because you're not really, setting up the defense right out there in the field. We cannot stop, especially this team right here, 3-6. Come on. Are you kidding me? So here we go. It is 42-21. Oh, my God. Already 63 points in the first half. That's unbelievable. Probably the most in Texas Football League history. Here we go. Here comes the Harm Clark Athletes. They're going to get the second half kickoff. What are they going to do here? They let it go, and that will be a 5. +2, that's 7. That's no points. Wow, they finally hold them down. That was a missed field goal from 57, so their place kicker, Mason Cruz, misses. And here we go. 42-21. The Waterloo Blue Sharks are down by 21 by double digits. Wow, here we go. Here comes the quarterback, DJ Orton. Noah Underwood talking to that defense. Drake Rodney also, the defensive coordinator, was talking to them and telling them, come on, we got to really pressure this guy. We can't allow this quarterback from the Harm Clark Athletes to be just throwing that ball all over our secondary. Here we go. Here comes the Blue Sharks. They let it go. No, that's going to be a 3. Oh, no, this is not going to be good. So that was on defense. So that was a punt for 50 yards. Here comes, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Harm Clark Athletes. They kind of already smell a victory here. Here we go. Here comes the Harm Clark Athletes. What are they going to do here in the fourth quarter? Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 1. No, plus 2, that's 3. So that's no points right there, and that's going to be 42 points for the Harm Clark Athletes. So that's 3. That's going to be 3 TD runs, 2 TD pass, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Unbelievable. All right, so here we go. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is going to be the moment right here. It's going to be the final, segment. And, of course, before the regular season ends, the Waterloo Blue Sharks, they have, been all right in the road. And they might they're going to drop to 2-3 if they do not roll a 20 right here for them to tie the game and at least get a tie and not fall to 7-3. If not, go to 7-2-1. Here we go. Can they get a 20? Let's see if they can do it. They've done it before. That's a 12. No, plus 1, 13. That's only a field goal, right? Yeah, field goal. No, that's a field goal there. So let's just see. Field goal for 38 yards. So they kick it from the 21. So that's 24 points. And guess what? They get blown out. And we get a punt return. And then 2 TD runs. All right. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. And the Waterloo Blue Sharks, man, it was a shocking loss for them as they will fall to 7-3. And the Harm Clark Athletes are going to finish their season 4-6. Not the way they wanted it to end, but oh, well. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for game 1 here in week 10. And the Waterloo Blue Sharks, they're leaving that Southern Conference title on the line. So all they're going to hope is for the Connerville Road Airhawks to lose. And if the Connerville Road Airhawks, we're still going to have to go check and to see how many points they got. So if they score more than, because right now the Blue Sharks, they have 266. So they're right now at 290 plus the 24 they score here, right? So that's 290. So I don't think the Airhawks have enough to reach him. So I'm still thinking that the Blue Sharks are still going to win. They're going to win the Southern Conference, I'm pretty sure. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to expect here in this? Game 2 is between the Alameda Eagles visiting the Southwell Stoke Punishers. Now, where's the Alameda Eagles? Right here. The Alameda Eagles, they're coming in here with a record of 5-4. The Southwell Stoke Punishers 5-3-1. So the Eagles, they want to win this game so bad because they're really trying to make it to the playoffs, of course. Let's see what happens. The Southwell Stoke Punishers, they're also trying to clinch the Northern Conference. They're tied with the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. So one out of those two are going to win the Northern Conference. Here we go. Alameda Eagles with a +1 on offense, 0 on defense, run and shoot offense, nickel 4-2-5 defense. Head coach Yvonne Martinez. Quarterback Vince United also has had a great year. Halfback Andre Omar. Receivers Siki Valdez, Christian Barrios, Guy Candy, and Happy Norris. Now for the Southwell Stoke Punishers, they are a 0-0. They don't have a modifier here in the pen and paper football D20 league. And their head coach is Nico Sabala. A balanced offense, 4-3 base defense. Their quarterback, Matt Wilson, also having a good year. Halfback, Richie Williams. Receivers, Andre Wallace, Derek Johnson. And tight ends, Bernard Milton and Brandon Spencer. So let's go ahead and get this game started, ladies and gentlemen. The Alameda Eagles are going to be, well, no, they'll be the light green and no, we'll give the dark green to the Alameda Eagles. This one will be for the Southwestern Punishers. The Alameda Eagles, here we go. They're trying to go to 6-4. They call for tails. And yep, they'll get tails, so they'll get the ball first. Here comes the Alameda Eagles. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? Let's see if they have what it takes, you know, to win this game and go to 6-4. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be +1 on a 2. That's 3, so that's no points. I'm pretty sure they missed a field goal. Yep, from 28 yards. Wow, their place kicker, Mickey Day. Here we go. Here comes the Southwestern Punishers. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? They are trying to go to 6-3-1. And of course, they're going to have to wait for the Anderson Road Russian Bulls to lose. And if the Bulls, even if the Russian Bulls win, I'll have to go see their points. Whoever has the highest points is going to win the conference, of course. Here we go. Here comes the Southwestern Punishers. That's a 12, no modifiers. So that's going to be a field goal. That was a field goal for 40. So good job by the place kicker, Boy Howard. Here we go. Here comes the Alameda Eagles. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? With their quarterback, Vince United, and their halfback, Andre Omar. This guy's right here trying to figure out ways because they came from really having a bad first quarter. No points. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 15. Oh, that's good. +1, a 16. The same thing right there. That's a touchdown for the Alameda Eagles. And that was a run. So it's a rushing touchdown for the Eagles. TD run, okay. Here comes the Southwestern Punishers. They're down 7-3 to the Alameda Eagles. Here we go. Quarterback Matt Wilson, Richie Williams, the halfback. What are they going to do? What kind of plan they're storing in for them to take the lead before halftime? He lets it go, and that will be up 15. Yep, 15. That's a touchdown too. So they go to halftime, and they're leading by 3, 10-7 over the Alameda Eagles. It was a passing touchdown. I'll tell you right now that quarterback Matt Wilson, he's having a great year, passing a lot of touchdowns this year. I don't know how many. I'll count them, you know, right when I do when I tally them up and everything. So we're going to the second half. The Southwestern Punishers will receive it. They're up by 3, 10-7. What are they going to do here? Matt Wilson has already thrown a touchdown pass. Let's see. Here we go. He lets it go, and that will be, no, it was going to land on 16. And nope, that's 3, so that's no points. Why was there no points? It was a miss from 23 yards. Man, their place kicker, Boy Howard, man, he's not really kicking the ball like he's supposed to. Here comes the Alameda Eagles. What are they going to do here? In the third quarter, they're down by 3. Here we go. Alameda Eagles, they let it go. No, that's a +1 on a 5-6. So that's no points. Why? And that was a miss from 34 yards. Their place kicker, Mickey Day, misses it. Okay. So here comes the Southwestern Punishers. Let's see if they can add more points. They need to add more to kind of secure the win for now. Here we go. 10-7. They're up by 3. What can they do? Here comes quarterback Matt Wilson out there in the football field leading his team. They let it go, and that would be a 12. Oh, my God. And there's only a field goal. How much was that field goal for? Field goal for 29 yards. So that's 13 points for the Southwestern Punishers. A TD pass, that's all. Okay. So this is the final moment, right? The moment of truth. Let's see if the Alameda Eagles can come back in this one. This is the last opportunity, last chance. They're only down by 6, 13-7. Can they come back with the victory? Here we go. They need a miracle. Here comes the Alameda Eagles for them to go to 6-4. They go. They let it go, and that will be a 5. No, plus 1, 6. Nope. They're gonna lose this one. 13-7. Unbelievable. And the Alameda Eagles, they are gonna go to now 5-5. And the Salvador Punishers, believe it or not, they're gonna go to 6-3-1. And they already looking at a Northern Conference championship title. So here we go. That's it for game 2. We're going to game 3. And that's going to be between the 6-3 Cornwall Road Airhawks going against the 2-7 West Fuquay Razor Wings. Here we go. The visitors here at and the home of the West Fuquay Razor Wings. So here we go. So we have Cornwall Road Airhawks. They got to win this one if they want to have a chance. I mean, we'll see how many points. What's the point differential between them and the Waterloo Blue Sharks? Who's going to take the Southern Conference with them? Here we go. Airhawks. They call heads. And now that's a tail. So the Razor Wings get the first half kickoff. Here comes the West Fuquay Razor Wings. They have a +1 on offense, 0 on defense. They run a Wildcat offense, 3-4 base defense. Head coach is Dion Oakley. Quarterback Michael Clinton. Halfbacks Tyrone Curtis, Justin Johnson. The receivers Rosa Porter, Randy Harper. Tight end Tommy Stewart. The Cornwall Road Airhawks, they are the best in the pen and paper football. They have +2 on offense, -2 on defense. Run and shoot offense, 46-pair defense. Head coach is Vincent Hall. Quarterback Kobe Murray Jr., another MVP candidate. Halfback Abraham Coles. Receivers DeAndre Adams, Joe Flowers, Aaron Smarts, and Christian Strawberry. Here we go. What are the Razor Wings going to do here in the first quarter? They let it go, and that will be an 18, but that's a -2 because it's on defense. So that would have gave them 14 points, but the Airhawks defense brought it down to a 16, so it's only 7 points. Good job by the defense of the Airhawks. What's that touchdown? Oh my God, I forgot to shuffle my cards right here. Sorry about that. Man, I'm trying to hurry up because, man, I still have a little bit of time. I got about 30 minutes because I got to go to work. So here we go. Bear with me. Man, this is when you play in the final week of any sports, you know, that's either baseball, football, soccer, or even basketball, any of those, hockey. I mean, it just gets so intensified and so excited and hyped up because, man, a lot of teams are trying to fight and trying to win because they trying to battle for a playoff spot. So what that was a touchdown. Okay, that was a run, so it was a rushing touchdown. All right, we're going to put here TD run. All right, here we go. Here comes the Cornwall Road Airhawks. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? They're down by 7. Here we go. With the quarterback, Kobe Murray Jr. They let it go, and that will be a 16. Yep. +2, that's 18. That's 14 points. Oh, my God. Look at this. That's 2 touchdowns. A run and a kickoff return touchdown. The return man, Patrick Boykin. So that's a TD run and a kickoff return, right? Yeah, kickoff return for a touchdown. All right. So good job right there on the special teams and on the run. Here comes the West Fuquay Razor Wings. They're down by 7 now. What are they going to do here? They let it go, and that will be a 4. -2 will be down to a 2. So that's 0 points. That was on defense. And that was an interception. So an INT thrown by Michael Clinton, their quarterback. So here we go. So who catches this interception? I would just like to know. A 10. That was caught by their strong Wait a minute. What is it? That was caught by their strong safety. Their strong safety, Dave Mitchell, right? Yeah, their strong safety, Dave Mitchell, catches that interception. Here we go. Here comes the Carnival Road Airhawks. What are they going to do here in the second quarter before halftime? They let it go, and that would be a 19. Yep, plus 2, that's 21, but it's 20. So that's 21 points in the second quarter for them. 3 touchdowns. So it's a run, and a pass. So that was 3 rushing touchdowns already for them and a TD pass. Oh my God, look at that. And they're going to halftime leading, blowing out the Razor Wings by 28, 35-7. Here comes the Airhawks. They're going to receive the second half kickoff. What are they going to do here in the third quarter? Let's see. Here it comes. Airhawks. They let it go, and that's going to be 4, but they got on defense, so that's no points. That's on defense there. That's a forced fumble. So they fumble the ball, man. That is not good right there. That's a fumble there. Okay. No problem. They turn the ball over. Here we go. So let's see who forced the fumble. I would like to know here. 2. That was forced by oh, wait a minute. That was forced by their defensive tackle, Danny Gold. He forced the fumble. So here we go. Here comes the West Pequot Razor Wings. Come on, they got to come back. They're down by 28, 35-7 to the Airhawks. Here it goes. They let it go, and that would be a 2. Defense -2. That would have been a 0 there. So no points. That was on defense, so that was a punt for 55. Now we're going to the final quarter. The Airhawks know this is pretty much a wrap-up, and they're going to go to 7-3, but we're going to have to see and kind of, analyze real good the points, see the point differential if they have enough to take the Southern Conference from the Waterloo Blue Sharks. Here we go. Here comes the Carnival Road Airhawks, the final quarter. They want to put up more points. Yep, and they will. 19 plus 1, that's 21 points. Before they end the season, they want to end it with a really happy ending. That's 42, 56 points for the Airhawks. So that's 3 touchdowns. That's a run, pass, and a punt. So that's already going to be, let's see, that's going to be 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 TD passes, and I'll have to put here a punt return also. Punt return. Okay. We'll see right now. We'll see how we do it here. So 4 rushing touchdowns. And let me see. Let me see if I can put it here. 4 TD runs. Then we have 2 TD passes. Kickoff return. Punt return. And then a fumble. Yeah, I'll just put it like that, a fumble. I can't fit it all in there. But yep, it's 56 points by the Airhawks. And guess what? I think that's going to be enough. I think they might take the Southern Conference. I didn't even know they were going to put up 21 in the last quarter. They had to because they want to have enough for them to surpass the Waterloo Blue Sharks. And let's see if they have enough. But we'll tally it up once all this is over with. Here comes the West Fuquay Razor Wings. Let's see how many points they can put up. Yeah, they'll put up some, but that's a -2. Brings it down to a 17. That's 10 points only. That could have gave them 21, but the defense of the Airhawks is too good. And that's 10 points, and they finished with 17. 56-17, ladies and gentlemen. And the touchdown goal. So that would be a TD pass. Okay. That's a TD run, TD pass, and an interception. So there you go. And the Airhawks, believe it or not, they're going to go to 7-3, ladies and gentlemen. And the Razor Wings are going to drop to 2-8 with the worst record in the league. Okay. So there you go. We're about to go ahead and go to the other game. Oh man, I gotta hurry up because I still have 2 more games left to play. So we have the other game, game number 4, the Genoa Wild Ducks visiting the Del Papa Devil Dogs. The Genoa Wild Ducks, they're 4-5. So they want to win this game desperately because if they could have at least a slight of a chance to qualify to the playoffs. Here we go. Going against the Del Papa Devil Dogs also, they are fighting for a playoff spot, but of course they're going to need a lot of help. They're going to need some teams to lose. So here we go. They're 4-5 as well. The Genoa Wild Dogs will be the dark green and light green for the Del Papa Devil Dogs. The Genoa Wild Ducks, they call for tails, and they'll get tails, so they'll get the ball first. They're coming in here 0-0 modifier, West Coast offense, 4-3 base defense, head coach Tracy Evans, quarterback DeCarpio White, halfback T.M. Thomas, receivers Jadavian Moss, Chris Wellington, Tony Duncan, and their tight end Austin Morris. Here we go. They're gonna try to roll the dice here. That will be a 13 and no modifier. 13, of course, that's a field goal for the Genoa Wild Ducks. Okay, they're up 3-0. Here comes the Del Papa Devil Dogs. Did I shuffle these cards here? The Del Papa Devil Dogs, they're coming in here in a balanced offense, nickel 4-2-5 defense, with their head coach Kurt Davis, quarterback Freddie Anderson. Oh, I forgot to tell you, a modifier, they're 0-0, okay? So they don't have no rating. The halfback Jimmy Crawford, receivers Reggie Manning, Andrew Ferguson, and their tight end Cedric Lamar and Randy Michigan. So here we go. What's going to happen in this one? Here comes the Del Papa Devil Dogs. The desperate, trying to win this game here at home to have a possibility of qualifying to the playoffs. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be an 11. No modifier, so that was just a field goal. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the field goal. Field goal for 41 for the Ducks and a field goal for 40 for the Devil Dogs. Here comes the Genoa Wild Ducks. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? They're all tied up 3-3. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 12 once again. That's another field goal. And that's a field goal for 34 yards. And they're up now 6-3 on the Del Papa Devil Dogs. Here comes the Devil Dogs. What are they going to do here before halftime? It's a lower scoring game. Nothing but a series of field goals. Here we go. Devil Dogs, they let it go. That's a 19. He got it. 19, that's 17 points. And they're going to go up. They're going to go to the halftime 20-6, leading them by 14. So let's see. Okay, the touchdowns first. Punt return and a run. Okay. So they got a punt return, touchdown, and a TD run. All right. Okay. So now the second half kickoff will be received by the Devil Dogs. Can you give me 1 minute? Excuse me, I had to, sorry about that. I had to blow my nose a little bit. Here we go. Here comes the Del Papa Devil Dogs to start the second half. What are they going to do here? Here we go. They let it go, and that will be an 11. That's going to be another field goal. And now they're up 23-6 on the Genoa Wild Ducks. What was that field goal for? Field goal for 44 yards. Okay. Here we go. Here comes the Genoa Wild Ducks. They're now down by 17, 23-6. Here we go. And they put up some points here, some real touchdowns. They let it go, and that will be a 17. Yep, they got it. 17, that will be 10 points. Oh, my God. And now they cut the lead back to 7. It is now 23-16. What goes first? And that's the field goal first. Oh my God. Field goal for 30 yards and a pass for 38. So it was a TD pass for DeCarpio White. Here we go. Here comes the Del Papa Devil Dogs. They know they have to score at least a couple of more points because it looks like the Wild Ducks want to come back in this game. But we'll see if the defense of the Del Papa Devil Dogs can stop them. Here comes the Devil Dogs. Quarterback Freddie Anderson, Jimmy Crawford, the halfback. Let's see what kind of play they can come up with. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 5. No, that's going to be no points. And they're going to finish here with 23 points. So it's a punt return for a touchdown and a TD run. All right. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment of truth. Can the Genoa Wild Ducks, all they need is to score a 14 or higher, and they'll win this one by a point or more. So let's see if they, right here, this will be the lucky roll here for the Genoa Wild Ducks, and also their season is on the line right now if they're fighting for a playoff spot. Here we go. The Wild Ducks, can they do it? Quarterback DeCarpio White, can he throw another TD pass? He lets it go, and that's a 9-0, and they are going to come up short. And they're going to lose this one, ladies and gentlemen, 23-16. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. And they're going to lose by 7. And the Wild Ducks, they're going to now fall. They're going to finish their season at 4-6. And the Del Papa Devil Dogs are going to go to 500 and finish 5-5. And that's going to be pretty good for them. But, of course, we're going to have to wait for other teams. See if they lose, kind of give them the edge for them to get into playoffs. Here we go. And that's it for that game 4. We're playing the last final game, ladies and gentlemen. And that is between the Anderson Road Russian Bulls visiting the Buffalo Speedway Rams. Now, the Anderson Road Russian Bulls, this is an important game for them. They have to win this one because they are right there trying to fight for that Northern Conference title from the South Coast Punishers. The Punishers won. They are now 6-3-1, and the Russian Bulls are 5-3-1. So it's pretty much going to be about point differential. So let's see if they can score a lot of points here. The Punishers, despite that they only scored 13 points, but let's see, the Russian Bulls, they are really a good team. Also, they score a lot. Going against the 3-6 Buffalo Speedway Rams. Here comes the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. What are they going to do here? They call for heads. And heads, that's what they're going to get. And they'll get the first half kickoff. And here the Anderson Road Russian Bulls, they're sitting with a 0 on offense, but a -1 on defense. They run a Wildcat offense, nickel 3-3-5 defense. Their head coach is Dick Mayweather. Quarterback Victor Queen. So he's had a great, solid year. Halfback is Walter Brown, Joe Rush. The receivers is Mario Dickerson, Brandon Jones, and their tight end, Greg Newton. For the Buffalo Speedway Rams, they're a 0-0 on modifier. The head coach is Shepard Teddy. They run a West Coast offense, 3-4 base defense. Their quarterback's Mark Montana, even though Montana's had a pretty good season, but still, his team is not going to make it to the playoffs. Bernard Wayne, halfback, receivers, Martin Jefferson, Devontae Rice Jr., Jacob Lungs, and their tight end is Derek Moon. So let's go ahead and get this last final game of the season finale, Week 10. Who's going to win this one? Here comes the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. They have to win this game. This is an urgent game. They have to win in order for them to see if they can take the Northern Conference title with them home. Take it from the South Coast Punishers. But if they lose, the Punishers will be crowned with the Northern Conference. Here we go. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? Oh my God, that's going to be points, right? 14, yep. That's a touchdown for the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. No modifier on offense. It don't matter. That's a run for 3 yards, so that'll be a TD run for the Russian Bulls. Here we go. Here comes the Buffalo Speedway Rams. What are they going to do here in the first quarter? Here we go. The quarterback, Mark Montana. He lets it go. That will be a 17. Oh, no, but that's a -1 on the defense modifier. So that brings it down to a 16. It's only a touchdown, 7 points. That would have been 10, but good defense by the Russian Bulls. That's a pass, so that will be a TD pass for Mark Montana. Okay. Now we're going to the second quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. What are they going to do here? They want to they want to break the tie in halftime, before halftime. Here we go. Here comes the Russian Bulls with the quarterback, Victor Queen. Let's see, marching them down over there, downfield. See if we can, they get in the red zone, get some points. He lets it go, and that will be a 13, and 13 will be a field goal. So they put up a field goal to go up 10-7. And that's going to be a field goal for 38 yards. Okay. By their place kicker, Bobby Hanks. Here we go. The Buffalo Speedway Rams. What are they going to do here? Can they come up with a field goal to go tied at the halftime, or they could take the lead? Here we go. The Buffalo Speedway Rams. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? They let it go, and that will be a 20. Oh my God, but a -1, 19. So that's good defense, but still they allowed 17 points. Oh my God, look at this. And they put up 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And that's going to be, okay, the touchdowns for a punt return for a touchdown and a run. So we have a TD run and a punt return for a touchdown. The return man is Joseph Bowman. Good job by this Buffalo Speedway Rams, taking the lead 24-10 at halftime. So here comes the Buffalo Speedway Rams. They're going to start the second half up by 14 on the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. The Russian Bulls, they're desperate. They're really nervous, super nervous right now, because they know they're down by 2 touchdowns. They do not want to give that Northern Conference title away to the South Coastal Punishers. Here we go. Here comes the Rams. Can they put up more points? That's 1, no modifier. That's 10, so that's no points right there for the Buffalo Speedway Rams. And that was a miss from 25 yards. So here we go. Here comes the Anderson Road Russian Bulls. What are they going to do here in the third quarter? They're down by 14, 24-10 to the Buffalo Speedway Rams. They got to come up with a miracle here. They got to score at least 18 or higher for them to have a chance to tie it or get the lead. Here we go. Here comes the Russian Bulls. They let it go, and that's a 6. No. And they're going to come up empty-handed in the third quarter. That's a punt for 61 yards. It was on the defense. Oh, my God. And now, it's coming now here to the last quarter for the Buffalo Speedway Rams. They're up by 14, 24-10. Let's see if they can put up more points and secure this win and come up with the upset on the Anderson Road Russian Bulls and end the Anderson Road Russian Bulls' dream of getting that Northern Conference title. Now, the Russian Bulls, even if they lose, they're still going to qualify to the playoffs. Just don't get it wrong. Okay, don't get it mistaken. They are still going to get in the playoffs. Here we go. Here comes the Rams. They let it go. That's an 18 -1 to a 17. That's 10 points. And I think that'll be enough. Yeah, that'll be enough right there. So, let's see. Hold on, Spurs. Okay, the field goal for 44 and a run, a TD run. So that's 2 rushing touchdowns. And that was a what? Yeah. Okay, so they are going to finish this game with 34 points. They're right now leading the Russian Bulls 34-10. So it's a TD pass, 2 TD runs, and a punt return for a touchdown. Okay, so there you go. And the Russian Bulls know it's pretty much over with. And no matter what they do here. Let's see. They're just going to play just to end the game here, just for the clock to run out. Here comes the Russian Bulls. As they know that Northern Conference title has been taken by the South Coastal Punishers. Here we go. They let it go, and that will be a 17, but that will be too late. That's 10 points. And that will be 20. Let's see. Okay, the touchdown first. So it'll be a run. It'll be a TD run and a field goal for 40. So that was 2 rushing touchdowns by the the Anderson Road Rushing Bulls. And there you go. And the Rushing Bulls are going to now fall to 5-4-1. And the Buffalo Speedway Rams are going to finish their season 2 games under 500, 4-6. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was it for the season finale here in week 10 in the regular season. And later on today, I will be posting, and I will be posting the playoff bracket, the picture and everything, so you can see it. And I'll be making a video, hopefully tomorrow, or I don't know when, but it'll be soon this week. So there you go. The scoring results there for week 10. All right, and yep, that's it. And this was Texas Football League Season 1, pen and paper football, D20. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you don't mind. I already got to head to work. Yeah, I'm running late already. So yeah, y'all have a great, blessing, and safe day. And take it easy. And I'll catch you on the next episode. All right. And thanks a lot for always supporting my videos. Especially for my friends Don over there in Cards and Dice with Jackson, Alan, Jason Graham, Brian for Clark Addison Games, Dave Gardner, and Kevin Elias, and so many great YouTube creators out there. Thanks a lot for doing what you do. Always putting great content, also supporting y'all, and always inspiring me, motivating me to do videos like this. All right, and so I'll catch you on the next video. All right, peace.